Hello everyone, welcome to Come Sit at My Table and welcome to our countdown to Christmas. Melissa and I are going to try to do a video and post it for you every day this month leading up to Christmas Day. We did that last year and it was so well received we decided we would try it again this year.
It was a lot of fun for us.
It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. We really did enjoy it. So we're going to try that again.
And man, did people enjoy seeing us show up.
Yeah, that's true.
This is a season to share.
It is the season to share, which leads me to the fact that we are going to be doing a lot of sweets and treats this month. Now, in a normal month, we try to do some main dishes, side dishes, salads, some breakfast items, and some desserts. But because this is Christmas season, we are going to do a lot of sweets and treats. We will throw in some of those other items too. We'll do a couple of breakfast videos and a couple of salads and things for you. But it's going to be very heavy on the sweets and treats side this month. We hope you enjoy those. Now, also, I want to tell you that we are going to do a lot of subscriber recipes this month. We're going to do a subscriber recipe every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So 3 a week, the recipes are going to come from you. So make sure you tune in on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays especially because you want to see those subscriber recipes. But we're going to be here every day for you this month. The recipe we're going to make today comes right out of our cookbook. So if you have a copy of our cookbook and you want to grab it and turn to page 364, you can follow along while we make Christmas cracker candy. This is so delicious. I think you're going to really love this, and it's so easy to make. It has very few ingredients, it's very quick, and you'll have it together in no time. So let's talk about what we're going to use to make our Christmas cracker candy. We're going to start with a sleeve of graham crackers. Now, I'm using honey graham crackers because that's what I had in our pantry. But you can use just plain graham crackers if that's what you want to do. But you only need 1 sleeve out of the box. These sleeves have 9 crackers in them. And I have already fixed ours in our pan, and it only takes 8 crackers. So that's going to leave you 1 cracker out of this sleeve. And that's good because you can put some peanut butter on it and have a little treat yourself. We're also going to use 2 sticks of butter, which is 1 cup. We're going to use 1 cup of light brown sugar. I really encourage you to use the light brown sugar, not dark brown sugar. I just think it does better in this recipe. We're also going to use 1/3 of a cup of creamy peanut butter and 2 heaping cups of milk chocolate chips. That's it. That's how simple it is. Now, we get started by lining a 9x13 baking dish with aluminum foil. You're going to want to do that because it makes cleanup easy and it helps this candy to come out of the pan much easier. So line it with some foil, spray your foil with nonstick spray, and then use your graham crackers to make a single layer in your dish. You're going to have to break up 1 or 2 of those crackers to fit in the sides and the ends, just so you don't have gaps. And you can see I've just broken these 3, and then I broke some little skinny pieces to go here along the edge, just so it's completely covered. But that's how you want to start. Once you have your pan lined with aluminum foil, sprayed with nonstick spray, and your crackers in, then you can start cooking. So the first thing we're going to do is take our butter over to the stove and put it in our pan that we're going to cook this in. Now, we're going to turn this on low heat. We don't want it on high because we don't want to burn that butter. We want it to melt slow and low. So I've got it on low heat. We're going to let it start to melt. When it's almost melted, we will put in our brown sugar. Then we're going to allow that to cook together until it comes to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, we'll set our timer for 5 minutes. I will stir constantly while that's cooking, and then we'll be ready to take it off and stir in our peanut butter. All right, let's get our butter melted, and then we'll keep going. Well, you can see that our butter is pretty much melted, so I'm going to add in our light brown sugar, and I'm just going to start stirring that in. You want to get it dissolved. And I'm also going to turn my heat up to at least medium or maybe medium high. And we're going to let this start to come to a boil. Now that's going to take a few minutes. And while that's coming to a boil, you just want to break up any lumps that are in that brown sugar and get that stirred in. If you see any lumps that are in there, just break them up with your spoon. I would encourage you, if you have it, to use a wooden spoon for this. I've got my old handy dandy wooden spoon that I've had for probably more than 40 years. It's chipped along the edges and it's been scorched on the back, but it's a good one. So if you've got a wooden spoon, I encourage you to use it. Now you can see that the brown sugar and the butter are not completely combined, and that's okay. That's why you just want to keep stirring while it's coming up to temperature. And once it's to a boil, we're going to set our timer for 5 minutes. But let's just keep stirring and cooking this until it comes to a boil. Then we'll set that timer. You can see that our butter and sugar have combined, and you can see that it has come to a boil. So I'm going to turn our timer on 5 minutes. And we will cook this and stir constantly while this is cooking for the next 5 minutes.
But you don't have to use a thermometer on this.
Absolutely not. That's one thing I really like about this candy. You don't have to use a candy thermometer. You just boil it for 5 minutes. Stirring constantly. Okay, our mixture has cooked for 5 minutes, stirring constantly. Now we're going to add our peanut butter and stir that in until it completely incorporates with the butter and sugar. And that's going to take just a minute, but it won't take long in that hot mixture. That peanut butter is going to melt fast.
Speaking of, you wanted me to remind you about the oven.
Oh yes, we did preheat our oven to 425 degrees. And you do want to do that because we are going to put this in to bake for just 5 minutes. So make sure you have preheated your oven to 425 degrees. Now our peanut butter is pretty much incorporated. It looks really good. So I'm going to scrape off my spoon. I'm going to switch over to a spatula here in a minute. All right, Melissa, are we ready to move?
Absolutely.
All right. We're going to move right here to our crackers. And I'm just going to pour this over our crackers as evenly as I can, but if we need to, I can always use the back of a spoon to spread it out. But we just want to get all of that in there. Now, of course, I'm going to have to use a spatula to help get every drop of that because we don't want to waste it. So I'm just going to scrape it out of there. Now, if it starts to firm up on you a little bit, don't worry. We're going to put this in the oven, and that will thin it right back out, and it will work just fine. I'm just going to take the back of my spatula and kind of spread that out a little bit all the way to the edges. That's why we put that aluminum foil down, so we could go all the way to the edge and not worry about it sticking on us. So let's just spread it out some. We want every piece of that cracker to have some goodie on it, don't we? All right. That looks pretty good. Now our oven is preheated to 425 degrees. So we're going to go into the oven for 5 minutes. Then we'll come back and put those chocolate chips on. All right, it has been in the oven for 5 minutes. Now we're going to let it sit for 5 minutes, and then we will put our chocolate chips on top and allow those to melt. All right, we have waited 5 minutes, so now I'm going to put our chocolate chips right on top. There's 1 cup, and here's another cup. You don't have to worry about getting them too even because after they melt, you're going to spread them anyway. Once they're in there, I just take another pan, I take a cookie sheet and turn upside down, and we're going to leave that for a minute or two. Won't even hurt if you leave it 2 or 3 minutes. The chips will melt from the heat, and then we're just going to spread it, let it cool, and it'll be ready to eat. Our chocolate chips have melted. Look how nice that is. All you have to do is just take the back of a spoon. If you've been around here a while, you know that's my favorite tool to spread with. And you just spread that chocolate all over those toffee bars, toffee candy. That chocolate just melts right into itself. Look at that. Doesn't that look nice?
Very pretty.
Now, unfortunately, we can't dig into this because it's hot and it needs to cool. So we're going to let it sit right here on the counter for at least 30 minutes. It may take even longer. And if you're like me and patience is not your virtue, you might even want to stick it in the refrigerator for just a few minutes to let it firm up. But I don't do that until I've let it sit on the counter for at least 30 minutes. So just let it sit, be patient, and in 30 minutes or so, we will come back and break it up and enjoy some delicious Christmas cracker candy. Well, our candy has sat for quite a while because Melissa and I decided to eat lunch after we got the chocolate put on. And then she took on the task of putting ornaments on our Christmas tree. So it's been a little while, but our candy is ready. And by the way, I did stick it in the refrigerator for just a few minutes. So I'm just going to lift it right out of the 9x13 pan. And look how clean that dish is. No cleanup at all because we used that foil. So that can go right back in the cabinet. And now we're just going to peel that foil right down off of our candy. We'll just take it right off there, right around the edges. And then we're just going to break it up and get ready to eat it. I've got a piece right there that didn't come off. So I'm gonna have to dig that out of there. And that's okay, I'll do that. There we go, it's out. Now, I have found the easiest way to break this up is to take an old wooden spoon with a round handle, put under the candy, and just push down. And you can see that it just breaks. Now that chocolate is not completely set up. You can see how soft that is. But look at that candy, yum. And then it just breaks into pieces and you can make it as big or as small as you want. All right, you ready for a bite, babe?
Sure.
Here you go. I hear the crunch.
It's a nice combination.
Wow.
Chocolate and peanut butter is always a good combination.
I was going to say, how do you go wrong with chocolate and peanut butter? That is so good. And I think you could probably hear the crunch when Melissa took a bite. The crackers are a little soft on top, but they're still crunchy. It's absolutely delicious. We hope you'll give this a try. I know if you do, you'll love it as much as we do. Now, that recipe is in our cookbook. As I mentioned earlier, if you're interested in getting a copy of this cookbook for yourself or for a gift, all you have to do is go to the description box right below this video. You'll see it's going to say Christmas Cracker Candy in that box. Click anywhere in that box. The box will expand. Melissa always types out the written recipe for you right there in the box. Right under that recipe, you will find our mailing address. It's a post office box. And right under that, you will find two links. One is to Amazon. You can purchase it off of Amazon. All you have to do is click that link. Or, better yet, the other link is directly to our publisher. It's reformationpublishers.com. If you click that link, it'll take you directly to our publisher's webpage, and you can order the book directly from them. They do same-day shipping or at the latest next day shipping. So you should get it quickly if you order it directly from them. But you can order from either of those. And then, of course, at the bottom of the page, there's a place where you can leave a comment. We love hearing from you, so feel free to go down there and leave us a comment. We do appreciate you being here for our video. Tomorrow, we'll be back for day 2 of our countdown to Christmas. We hope you'll be back here tomorrow to watch our next video. We look forward to doing this for you this month. We hope you have a wonderful Christmas. Remember, you are always welcome to come sit at my table. Have a great day and Merry Christmas.